Well, hello fellow traveler, welcome back to another episode. I am here on Altamont Pass Road right now. I think it's actually technically Grant Line Road right now, but then it turns into Altamont Pass Road. But we are going to just do a really quick loop today. It is going to be 101 degrees today. And yeah, that's just a temperature I just don't want to deal with, you know. So right now it is about 8:50 in the morning. Currently the temperature went up like 5 degrees in the past 30 minutes. It is 82 degrees currently, and I am just trying to make my way through the eastern portion of Livermore South / Tracy area. So the plan is today is just to do the Altamont Pass Road. Here we are, and then we're gonna get onto Patterson Pass Road on the opposite side. So we'll just kind of enjoy this cruise, and you know, I'll give you guys their little weekly update. So with summer here, I noticed, you know, I don't typically ride a lot during the summertime. I think my reasoning for that is just too hot. And I think I know a lot of people probably feel the same way, especially if you're riding in Central California. I live primarily kind of in the borderline between like the Bay Area and where Central California begins. And because of that, I have this weird transitional issue of temperature. And in order for me to kind of mitigate that, I have to really decide, okay, well, am I riding to deal with the cold air in the Bay Area, or am I riding to deal with the hot air in the Central California? And that's a really tough call, because what you wear can really make or break how comfortable you are out here. Most people can ride with really minimal things. I can't. I don't weigh a lot. I weigh like 150 pounds wet, and I probably, like, you know, I don't have a lot of body fat on me, so I, you know, have to, you know, layer up a little bit. Even right now, I'm, you know, kind of sporting full leathers right now, but I'm comfortable. It's really early. It's early-ish in the morning, and you know, I don't really mind, you know, the warm air right now. So I think being a rider in Central California-ish, you know, you have to really decide kind of like what times you want to ride, right? So you kind of, if you're not wanting to deal with the heat, which I know a lot of people are dealing with the heat this week, all across the globe. But I think as riders, we have to also decide, you know, hey, am I going for an early morning ride, or am I going for a later evening ride? Because either way, I'm not dealing with the heat, right? I am not a morning person, to say the least, but I would rather choose the early morning ride than an evening ride. Feels extra windy in my helmet today. I don't know. I'm just hearing the wind a lot. I'm hoping it's not gonna like get into my microphone or anything. Usually it doesn't. So yeah, right now, I mean, I have about 4 hours to ride comfortably, I think. So I'm trying to give myself until noon, because by noontime it's going to be about 95 degrees. There's so many damn squirrels on the road right now. And by 3 o'clock it's going to be about 101, 102. So yeah, I don't want to really deal with that. But it's kind of crazy, because it's like if I just commit to like traveling maybe 30-40 miles towards the bay, there's going to be a 30-degree difference. My only problem now is, okay, well, and this is gonna sound really whiny, as I know I'm gonna have a great time out in the bay and I'll be really comfortable, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna have to deal with the heat regardless, because I have to go back home, right? And I don't want to do that. So I would rather just try to beat the heat by riding early and getting, you know, a couple hours in. Best to get a couple hours in than no hours, right? Alright, yeah, getting into Livermore right now feels really good. It's like 77 degrees. And that's really just kind of the like difference between where I'm at and kind of like how the air flows over the bay and then into the inland valley. You know, for the past couple summers, I've been really considering taking, you know, summertime off, because it gets so hot. But I mean, there's always ways to adapt, right? So, and like I said, you either just have to ride early in the morning or later in the evening, right? So as you guys know, that I got my drone license recently this year, and now that there is a push to ban DJI drones for the consumer and commercial level, you know, there's been a lot of talk about, like, you know, what's going to happen with our current drones, and what do people do who are trying to get into flying drones. You know, what options do we have as consumers? And although a lot of this draft and these bills probably won't come into play for a while, you know, it's really just the fact that if they are trying to push for an American company to handle all of our consumer drones, well, one, there really isn't one. Two, we don't have the infrastructure for it. And three, you know, American made, as much as we all want to, like, you know, support American made items, they're not the best. You know, and it would take a really long time, you know, for us to build up that infrastructure, not just in the technology of at the level that DJI is at, but really just the overall trust and the way that, you know, we get our products handled, you know, through warranty, and how we get them repaired, right? So what options do we have currently, or will we have after the fact? They say that we will still be able to fly our current DJI drones, but the problem with that is any future products and also parts, you know, will be subject to tariffs, as well as, you know, just overall unavailability. So if you have a drone and you break it and you need it repaired, chances are you're not going to be able to get it repaired, because you're not going to be able to get the parts for it. Parts are going to be super expensive, or they're just not going to allow you to have it. That is just my current understanding of how things are happening right now. So for me as a consumer and as a drone operator, you know, I'm all like, wow, was it even worth getting a drone license? I don't know. I mean, I spent a hefty, like, you know, $350 altogether between the courses and then the testing. And, you know, again, even from the beginning, I was like, well, what am I going to do with this thing when I get it? Tis a nice day today. The only thing is, there's all these damn squirrels are in the road, and I'm just trying not to overreact with them running across the street. If I see one run across the street, I'm running it over. I don't really care. You know, the bike can handle that. But it just, if I can try to slow down, I will. Someone's coming down or coming up. I will wait for this car. Chances are the car is waiting for me as well too. That's right. Whew. You know, if the view on this camera wasn't so wide, you guys would see just kind of how awesome this view is, with all of the windmills and just this dead valley. But it's pretty nice. It's much better during, like, you know, the rainy months when everything is green. But already feeling that heat. Back to 82 degrees, just like that. Pretty wild. I mean, I don't know. Summer is just one of those seasons where I'm not a fan of it. I hate the heat. Now, when I was riding in the Bay Area, and you know, and I lived in San Jose, I could ride every day. Or, you know, the hottest it ever got was like maybe 80, 90 degrees. But even then, that was like way more tolerable. And then, like, I was just hopping to skip away, you know, to the coast, you know, just over Highway 9 and into Santa Cruz, and, you know, it feels really good. Alright guys, whoa, look at all this garbage. People dump all their shit here all the time. And you gotta be careful, there's a lot of broken glass here, so if you're gonna park here, don't park over the glass. Alright guys, so that's gonna do it for this ride. I do thank you for joining me. It is gonna be a really hot one. I do hope if you're in an area where it's really hot, just stay indoors, stay cool, don't worry about it. You're not missing much in terms of riding in the heat. And if you are riding in the heat, drink a lot of water. It's so easy to get dehydrated out here. Alright guys, I'll see you on the next one. Later. That's gonna do it for this ride. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to my channel. Till next time guys, later.